was determined that the board's DEI committee should be paused for a time to be decided in the future. The DEI initiatives have been and will continue to be conducted by the Employee DEI Committee under the direction of Director Farkas with board oversight. And there are no other committee reports.
I have a question through the chair,
Sure.
please. So this is the first I'm hearing of this. Are you saying that there's no DEI committee for the board anymore? Is that what I'm
No,
hearing?
I'm not saying we're eliminating the DEI committee. No, what I'm saying is we are pausing the committee till we have more time, more information and everything, and we are going to put a pause on the DEI committee, and the employees who are actually doing the DEI work will continue, just as they have in the past, in providing recommendations and working on projects and programs, and until such time as we begin meeting, the DEI committee meeting again.
Can you give me some more? Because this is the first I'm hearing of it, and I'm on that committee. I actually was the founding chair, so I guess I feel like I'm blindsided. So if you can help me to understand why you would stop that important work from the board perspective since we govern.
Well, we didn't stop important work.
You said pause, stop, halt.
Pause, we're pausing the committee as such right now because there's so much conflict on this committee that we have to, the HR committee is meeting and discussing ways to move forward. It seems that, once again, we have strong personalities on that committee, and people, what I'm hearing and what other people are hearing is that the committee is unable to move forward as it stands right now. The committee is unable to make any progress because of the bickering, to tell you the truth. I mean, that's what has been reported to me. And so until that time, what is going to happen, we're not eliminating the committee. Our intent is for the committee to be reinstated, or not reinstated, but the committee will be doing work. However, for the time being, until the HR committee discusses this further, we are going to be pausing the DEI committee, the board committee, and the library board DEI committee will continue the work in the projects. Yes.
It's in our bylaws. So I don't know that you can just stop a committee without board involvement or a vote or discussion.
Well, there's nothing in our bylaws that we can't.
It just seems, if you're saying you're stopping it because of bickering, I can tell you, again, I've been on this board for 7 years, and almost every committee I've been on, and there's healthy debate. We need to be able to discuss things. We need to be able to talk about things. It feels, President Crawford, please understand, I'm hearing about this today, so I don't think this was done professionally, okay? So please understand that. It wasn't, I won't say I think. I won't put a disclaimer in. This was not done professionally. I should not be a part of that committee and find out today that it was stopped at this meeting. So that's one thing, okay? So I had no time to digest that, to prepare myself. That feels like an isolation-based thing, an exclusionary thing. If you and Trustee Dooley decided this without talking to us, that's concerning.
Well, it's the HR committee. It was the discussion at the HR committee with everyone there. Trustee Dooley was there. Our HR person, our staff person was there. Julie was there. We discussed this, and it seems from all of the information that has come to us, from all the people that have been involved with this committee, and I'm talking about employees and I'm talking about staff that have been in the committee meetings and everything, it seems impossible at this moment with the members that are on that committee right now to move forward with anything because of the disagreements that exist.
So what criteria are you looking at to open it back up? Please give me some understanding of that.
There's no time frame at this time. I mean, we're going to be meeting again. The HR committee is going to be meeting again very shortly.
So this is a formal complaint about that right now. I think that is not right. I don't think that a committee should be dissolved without the people in the committee knowing about it.
It's not dissolved. The committee is
not
dissolved.
You said you don't know when it's going to start again.
Well, it's not, but that dissolution of the committee, I mean, stopping the committee or eliminating the committee is not what is being said. It is on pause. A lot of our committees don't meet every month. These committees don't meet every month. And I'm sure you received the memo, like everybody, or the email, that there would be no meeting next month, or the next meeting was because I think it was probably Chairman Chiricuri, I think he said that he had another engagement and couldn't do it, or something
Just
like that.
this week,
something
yeah.
like that.
I understand
Okay.
if like someone can't meet, like, I didn't hear anything from trustee Wood about policy or bylaw. And we were talking about meeting. I figured something came up in that route. That happens sometimes, absolutely. But we're not saying we're pausing those committees. So that's my concern. It also is in the bylaws and it's a standing committee. So I do, question this. The pausing, I need a definition of that, because you're saying it's not stopped, but then you're saying it's paused and you're not giving a date for when it's starting back. Again, I think I should have questions. If I didn't, I think you should be
No
concerned
problem with
about me.
questions. No
I
problem
also
with
think strong
questions.
personality should not be a retaliatory thing. I think that anybody on this board probably does have a strong personality, and that's probably why they were selected by the mayor to be on it.
Yes, I agree.
We're passionate.
But if you can't, well, the HR committee discussed this at length. The fact that we're receiving a petition that one member should be removed, the fact that this problems, and it was even in the narrative in the petition, even indicated that problems have existed on that committee from its very inception, So there are problems, and we need to get more information, and we are going to pause the next meeting. Right now, we're going to pause it until we can discuss it further.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. Oh, sorry, didn't see you.
I want to provide some clarification for Trustee Mishner, too. So the boards, and for transparency to the public, the boards are at the pleasure, or the committees are at the pleasure of the president in our bylaws, and they do determine who's on the committees and things of that nature. So the HR committee did not determine the pause. We discussed what was going on. So, Trustee Crawford, President Crawford made that decision. That was not a CAT decision. That was not a Trustee Dooley decision.
So it was an HR committee.
It was not HR committee.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wanted to clarify that.
And I think that, I appreciate that clarification, and also you noting that that was not your decision. Again, I'm taking this in now, so you're hearing a lot from me because I didn't get the pleasure or the opportunity to be able to talk or get an email about it being paused. So I'm taking that in as we speak, but I think it's a disservice for the board not to have a DEI committee, and it just is one more thing that's taken away. It's so sad. Like in June of 2020, we came up with this because we realized that we can make a difference in this way. Are there going to be bumps with DEI? Look around, absolutely. Look around our country, our world, our city, our schools. People are trying to take books away. Absolutely, censorship, all kinds of things. So this being taken away is very curious to me and concerning.
Well, let me just be clear. We're
Yeah.
not taking anything away. We are not taking anything away. The committee exists. It's in our bylaws. The committee exists. We are just not going to be having a meeting right away. Okay? I mean, that's just the fact. There's not going to be a meeting date set until after we have more discussion and input from the HR committee. So I guess I could have just not said anything. All right? I could have said, well, we're just not set a date for the next meeting. I could have talked to Chairman Chiricuri and said, well, we just can't have any dates for a while. I could have done that. But I feel it's important for everyone to know that there has been so much talk about the dysfunction, I'm going to use the word dysfunction, of the committee, that we are just going to wait till we have additional training and we have an HR committee meeting that can discuss it further.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you didn't just do that, because that would be poor leadership. I was the president of this board as well, and I think that it's important to remember that there's 7 of us, and we make decisions in most cases together. Obviously, you chair, and I know that you have a former legislative role. This is very different than that. So just making like these mandates is very interesting. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.